Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. There are indeed spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to know anything about it, then click out now. Or if you have seen it, or you just don't care about spoilers, then okay, stay in the video. But that is your spoiler warning. Okay, so when the first Jurassic World came out, I seem to remember that they said that 2 and 3 had been decanonized, but evidently that was a lie, because Lost World actually has been recanonized, because they mentioned stuff that happened in Lost World in the movie at the beginning. But as far as I know, 3 is still not canon. Thank goodness, because 3 was awful. Hopefully it never gets recanonized. But yeah, so I'm glad. So I actually went to my friend's house and did a marathon of all the Jurassic Park movies, because he insisted The Lost World was recanonized, and I told him, no, it's not going to be recanonized, but it was, because they mentioned stuff happened in Lost World. And speaking of Lost World, the first half of this movie was basically that. It was essentially a remake of The Lost World. We're going to go to this dinosaur island, and we're going to save the dinosaurs from getting killed, and they all die. Well, most of them die, actually. They fail in their mission, and this is only the first half of the movie. Yeah, they go to the island, and then they get all the dinosaurs on the boat, and then they realized they missed a few, and the volcano blows up, and they all die, and it's very, very sad. I went, oh, man. Yeah, this review is pretty intense for a Jurassic Park movie. Like, the danger has been upped a lot. Like, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when they go to the Jurassic World theme park, and this takes place in real time, meaning there's a real time gap between this movie and this movie. So it's been 3 years since World and this one came out, and that is how much time has passed between those movies as well. So they go to 3 years of Jurassic World having been abandoned, and it's all overgrown and everything, and they go into the, I think it's called the gyrosphere, and I guess gets flooded. Like, they fall into the lake and it gets flooded, and Chris Pratt is trying to break him out, but they almost drown. I was like, whoa, this movie's intense. This is me the whole time. I was on the edge of my seat going like, oh man, this movie's fantastic. The action sequences are so good. Now, that being said, it's not a perfect movie. It's still kind of stupid. I mean, there's fun stupid, which is a lot of what this was, but then there's also stupid, where it's just bad writing. And unfortunately, it does have some stupid. And that is because of the character of the little girl in this movie. I thought they were setting it up that she was going to be the grandchild of Dr. Sattler from the first movie, because it seemed like that was the direction they were going to go. But no, get this, she's a clone of another little girl that had died. Like, they used the cloning technology they used to make the dinos to make her after she died. What? Okay, I'm fine when you say that you can clone dinosaurs. I'm fine when you man-make whatever kind of dinosaur you want. When you can make hybrid dinosaurs in a lab. I'm fine with that. But when you start throwing, we're cloning humans into the mix, I tune out. Because it was that point that I went, oh gosh, really? Like, I facepalmed so hard. But that's really the only flaw with the movie, is just that really stupid subplot. I did enjoy... Oh, and also Toby Jones. If you don't know who that is, he was Dr. Zola in Captain America. He's also the voice of Dobby in Harry Potter. And he's British, but in this movie they made him do an American accent, and it's really bad. Like, it's the most exaggerated, stereotypical Southern drawl. It's very bad. It's like, oh, you couldn't have just kept his British accent. There's no reason for him to be American, especially because the movie takes place in freaking England. Like, there's no house that nice. Like, when they go to, like, the rich guy's house at the beginning, there's no house that nice in America. Like, even in the richest parts of America, there's no house that nice. This movie takes place in England. It would have made sense for him to be British. Why did you have to make him do that stupid American accent? But yeah, the second half of the movie is very different. The first half of the movie is, like I said, kind of a rip-off, copy, plagiarism, what have you, of Lost World. It's kind of a rehash of that. The second half, though, is really good, because they go into the house. You know, they've made this, I don't know why they didn't learn their lesson the first time, that you shouldn't make hybrid dinosaurs when they made the Indominus Rex in the first one, but now they're making the Indoraptor, and it looks really cool, and this thing is terrifying, too. And they go into the house, and then it becomes kind of like the movie Alien, where they're being stalked by the xenomorph. It's kind of like that, but with dinosaurs. That part was good, and I really liked that, when the little girl's in her room running from the Indoraptor, and she like hides under the covers, and then you notice the Indoraptor is on the roof of the house, and it like slowly goes in, and it opens windows, because of course it can open windows, and it crawls in slowly creeps towards her, and it's literally this close to her mouth. Like, its mouth is literally this close to her, and then Chris Pratt comes in and shoots it and distracts it. So yeah, but that I was like, whoa, this is intense. Very scary movie for that part. Very scary part. I really enjoyed that. Very intense movie. But I know I'm glad that they kind of broke convention with Jurassic World, because it's kind of more of the same, but at the same time it's kind of not. Because, you know, in every Jurassic Park movie, they build up the T-Rex. They all have that in common. Like, they never show the T-Rex till almost the end. The T-Rex is in the very first scene of this movie. It's kind of like a reverse of Jurassic Park in that way. It's kind of a reverse of the narrative that we're used to. They show the T-Rex, like, once at the beginning, and I think maybe at the end, but that's it. Like, they don't build him up at all. It's, like, right off the bat. And then the new focus is the Indoraptor. And by the way, the trailers lied. Jeff Goldblum is not as prominent in this movie as the trailers made him appear. He's in the beginning, maybe like 10 minutes in, and then he's in the very last scene of the movie. And no, he does not meet Chris Pratt or Bryce Dallas Howard's character at all. He's completely separate from them. He's not connected to them at all, which was disappointing. But hey, they set up for a third one. And I think they're setting up for Dr. Wu to be the villain in the third one, because the second one, he's pretty sadistic. And I thought he was going to be the villain in this one. He's not. He's like the sidekick to the other villain, who, again, is the same villain as the guy from Lost World. It's very much a ripoff of that for the first half. But they set him up to be the villain in the third one quite easily, and I would like to see him become the villain in the third one, especially because, and I really have to say this, the little girl, when she frees the dinosaurs at the end, and now all the dinosaurs are in, like, different parts of the world, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? That was a stupid decision on your part. But I'm excited to see where the third one goes. I mean, because it finally explains why it's called Jurassic World instead of Jurassic Park. The first one, it's because they changed the name of the theme park. They changed it to Jurassic World, you know, to be like Disney World, right? No, this one, it's a double meaning, because now it's a Jurassic World. The dinosaurs are starting to take over. It's basically becoming the Planet of the Apes, but with dinosaurs, which is kind of cool. I'm excited to see where the third one goes. Will we lose? We don't know. It could very well end with the humans becoming extinct and the dinosaurs taking over, and thus reversing the cycle back to the beginning of time. So I'm kind of excited to see where the third one goes when that finally comes out. And hopefully Jeff Goldblum comes back and gets to meet Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's characters, because I would like to, and maybe, what's her name? Let me look it up real quick. Dr. Sattler, whatever her actress's name is. I know she was in Star Wars. She was the purple-haired girl that I don't like. Laura Dern. There we go. Yeah, hopefully Laura Dern comes back. Maybe the kids, now that they're adults, come back. I would like to see that. They can't bring back John Hammond, unfortunately, because he died in real life, which is very sad. But maybe they'll do it as, like, archive footage. You know, maybe they'll pay tribute to it in some way. Because we haven't seen I mean, they've mentioned Dr. Hammond a couple of times, but we've never seen, like, actual footage of him. I would like to see, like, archive footage in the third movie when that comes. Or I guess it's the sixth movie at this point, but like I said, 2 and 3 probably aren't canon. 2 is now, but I don't think 3 is. The next Jurassic World movie. There's Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3, and there's Jurassic World 2, Jurassic World 3. So in Jurassic World 3, I would like to see that happen. Yeah, I'd like to see Dr. Hammond, Dr. Hammond come back. I mean, in archive footage form, obviously, because the actor's long dead. But I just kind of like to see this kind of essentially a crossover between Park and World. that's basically my pitch for that. Make it Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs, right? Human versus Dino War, but then we end up losing. That would be really good. I'd like to see that happen. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I don't know why people didn't like it. I still thought it was very fun. It's Jurassic Park. You kind of get the same thing every movie, but there's also a little bit of difference. The little variables here and there that make it kind of a unique experience. So I'm excited to see where the franchise goes. I do agree maybe it is a little bit stretched out at this point, but I don't care. I think they're fun. As long as I'm entertained, it doesn't matter how many of these movies they make.